Hey everybody, we're back.
Yes, Super Robot Wars again.
Awesome. So Super Robot Wars Z2.1-2, because it's the second video.
Right.
:6, because it's stage 6.
Alright, I don't remember. So there was a playground robot, and
Strider.
Also, this dude that was a man-woman was the villain.
Baron Ashura.
Something.
And these are the characters from God Mars. Now, I want you to watch the animations for the God Mars units and see if you notice anything kind of peculiar about them.
Okay. Laser beams?
I actually really like that laser effect.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's very cool and solid. I don't think this is going to be so noticeable with the fighter jets, but when the actual like robots show up, I think you might notice something kind of wonky about them. But God Mars is another one of those like 70s. I think God Mars actually might have been from the 80s. It was just like kind of low budget.
Huh.
So,
alright.
I don't have any more attacks to show off, so we're just skipping the animations for now.
So, alright. I'm actually trying to remember. There's some rebel group that wants to...
No, there are dimensional monsters.
Right, the DBs.
Yeah. And, your group... I don't know if they're not the Crushers yet. They become colloquially known as the Crushers for the next chunk of the game after this stage, because that group is actually from God Mars. But yeah, your group is more or less being assembled to stop them.
Whoa!
And also deal with the Gundam 00 and Gundam Wing characters are staging sort of a rebellion.
That jet was actually 3 jets.
Yes, it was.
That's freaking awesome.
That's the Cosmic Crusher. It's a surprisingly decent unit, and it's also equipped with jamming, which, I mean, you know, you haven't seen this in a while, but jamming increases the defense and evade of all allied units by 10%. So it's a nifty support unit. And it also comes with like 5 support pilots. So there's a lot of people crammed into that. I mean, it's gonna lose one of them right now, the bottommost one, Takeru? That guy.
Yeah.
Because he's the main character of the show, and he's gonna get his own spoilers, he's gonna get a robot.
Oh.
Yeah, but...
So who are these freaking dudes in green jets we're fighting?
These are the... I forgot their name. The something Empire. They're aliens. They're trying to invade Earth.
These are different from the DVs.
Yeah, these are a completely separate... Super Robot Wars games tend to have different...
So wait, this is one of those non-related storylines that's going to converge later with...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No, I mean, this is just us fighting a new enemy faction.
Oh, okay. And here comes all the cool...
Yes. That's Dagard, the best robot. Oh, poor Dagard. Dagard has like B's and C's in its air terrains for all of its weapons. So it can't do shit for damage even against these crappy planes. But it does have one really cool anti-air animation, and I hope I show it off on the stage. If not, it's definitely like the next stage.
So, there's been no news, unfortunately, on
the Lance?
On Project Longinus.
Good. I'd forgotten about it until you mentioned it, and I hope to God I get to keep forgetting about it.
I don't know. I haven't heard. Oh,
check this out.
Wait, who the hell is that?
That's Gaia.
Was he here before?
No, it showed up like half a turn ago. So that is the actual kind of main robot for God Mars. It'll eventually combine with like 6 other robots and
it looks
form
like
the actual...
Ultraman, kinda.
A little, yeah. So the fun thing about Gaia is that if it ever dies for any reason, the bomb inside of it explodes and destroys Earth, and you get a game over.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so like, is it OP?
It's quite good once it gets once it's able to transform, which will come like next stage, I think.
Huh.
But because that's the plot of God Mars, that Gaia and by extension God Mars are they're powered by like a proton bomb or something.
Oh.
Like the pilot Takeru was sent to Earth as he's a bit like Goku. He was sent to Earth as a child to conquer the planet for his empire, because he's got a giant fucking robot who's gonna stop him. But he something went wrong. He lost his memory, and he was raised as an Earthling by his mom and his dad. And now he loves the Earth, so he's going to use his giant robot to fight against his own people, the Gishin or something, and beat the bad guy.
The CEO kid.
I always get this. I can't help but get distracted by Trider. I love Trider.
Oh, it's the blaster. Oh, it's that attack where he misses, but then it's like, wait, no.
I mercifully skipped it. I think I realized by this point I'd been showing it too many times.
Like, he misses, but then it's like, now to lead you!
Awesome, Dygard, you have to finish something off. I alluded to it, but every weapon has a terrain rating, because some are suited more for other terrains than others.
Yeah.
It's usually not too much of an issue, because a lot of well-made giant robots, can just kind of operate decently in any environment, but because Dygard's crappy. I mean, it's not even just that. Like the Evangelions, because they're huge and lumbering and don't fly. Like they tend to have low terrain ratings in their melee weapons too.
Oh, okay.
That's why you stick a Minovsky craft on Asuka and let her fly around, which usually doesn't really even change her animations at all, which is hilarious.
Well, I mean, so from what I've seen, just from watching different anime, the Evas seem to be on the more agile side of giant robots that I've seen in different things.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're definitely more agile than you would expect, considering how large they are. Yeah. They're L-sized in Super Robot Wars, which is like 100+ feet. But
I mean, they move.
They've got that whole synchronization, mimic your move it like your own body thing.
Oh yeah, true. Okay.
So one more hit and game over. I think the first time I played this stage like a year or two ago, the random number god didn't like me, and that actually happened. Which I should have expected it, because God Mars did show up way back when in Super Robot Wars D and had the same problem, but it's been so long, and we've all tried to forget Super Robot Wars D. No, D was really cool. It's just, it had a horrible bug where armor didn't calculate properly. So all the super robots, they couldn't dodge and they couldn't tank. So they were pretty much all useless. So God Mars was just asking for it. God Mars was just asking. If you used God Mars, you were just asking for a game over.
Oh, okay.
Big O was completely useless, which was... It was Big O's debut.
Oh, boot missile.
Bures Misairu? Excuse me?
Yeah.
That means completely different things than what you were saying. You are disrespecting the original Japanese.
Oh, man. Yeah. I've played Sonic Who Adventure.
Yeah, so you gotta respect the Nihon.
So I was while I'm still thinking of Evangelion. All right, when it comes to giant robots, and I may have heard that you have opinions on giant robots.
I don't know from who. it's a secret shame, and I never ever talk to anybody about my deep love and my deep secret love of giant robots.
So, okay, I was trying to explain to Corwin. Oh, what's going on? Oh, okay, I've seen this. It's cool. That's so freaking cool.
I know, right? So cool.
Like, oh man,
Ryder's a badass.
Whoa, Ryder kick! Wait, what? Is this new?
No, this is the animation.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, okay, so I was explaining to Corwin. When it comes to
Hi, Corwin.
Yeah. When it comes to giant robots, there's, I guess, kind of the old school where you get things like Gigantor and like freaking that playground equipment bot.
Yeah, we call those super robots.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, super robots don't necessarily mean they're old, but that was the style that was used back. They still make super robots shows today, but yeah, that was the like original like robot style. Yeah.
So I mean, you've got that kind of thing, and I guess it's like G1 Transformers too.
Yeah,
kind of look like that. And I was trying to tell him that, like, I prefer...
Well, G1 Transformers even has, like, the combining Transformers.
Well, yeah.
Who do, like, the Voltron thing themselves.
Yeah, the freaking Constructicons and stuff.
Yeah.
No, so, I don't know, but then there's this other... At some point... Wait, where
He's flying off so that in the next stage we can have the proper introduction to
okay. Okay, so then... Wait. Nah, this isn't important. So then, after a while, and I don't know if it was with Ava, but it might have been, where the robots stopped being more kind of Gigantor and Voltron and that kind of thing, and got more, not exclusively sleek, but it kind of comes to a more...
It started in 1979.
It's like if you compare, you know, Terran stuff in StarCraft to, like, Protoss stuff.
Yeah.
How you get the whole...
Yeah.
That aesthetic change.
It started in 1979 when Yoshiyuki Tomino created Mobile Suit Gundam, which was the very first real-type robot show. And that started the whole... I mean, Tomino had only been making super robot shows because that was the only thing that was out at the time. So... I mean, things are a bit blockier than you're alluding to, but Gundam was the first of those kinds of shows where everything's kind of designed with the intent of being like a military weapon, so everything's a bit sleeker, a bit more practical, like something you could conceivably put together in the real world technology. Yeah. And then from following the success of Gundam, you got, you know, Macross and Dragonar and all that stuff, so... That's what it really, that's what it really comes down to, and that's why we tend to break down the two genres into super robots and real robots. Okay, because like, yeah, I don't know. It's you have like stuff I see in Warhammer kind of, to me, goes back to, like, Gigantor, where, like, everything that the humans build in 40K is very, like, G1 Transformers looking. Well, Warhammer was also made back in the 70s.
Right.
You know, it was the aesthetic is very much like, you know, Golden Age science fiction, Flash Gordon kind of stuff. Like, that's clearly what inspired a lot of the early designs.
Yeah, okay.
And they've updated a lot of it, but, like, you can't change, like, the Space Marines. Like, that stuff's iconic.
Yeah.
So it kind of stays... I mean, like, the Tau are a much newer faction, and they clearly have, like, the anime kind of inspired, like, Valkyrie sort of looking robots.
Yeah, no, I mean, because I thought about it because, like, he's really into Warhammer and the miniatures. Like, I mean, he has...
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's got a Royal Guard army, I think.
I need to talk to Corwin about this. Corwin, we'll talk. Yeah.
And so he's like, he was showing us stuff, he's like, oh man, look at this mech, and I'm like, it's so ugly, though. Like, and I couldn't handle it, and then...
Have you seen the Dread Knights?
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna show that to you after.
Like
here's... So Gaia initiates the 6-god combination and becomes God Mars.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
His arms are 2 different arms.
Well, because they're 2 different robots.
Yeah, I know.
Did you ever see Mighty Orbots?
If I did, I don't remember.
Mighty Orbots was pretty much the first and only, like, legitimate American attempt to make a, like, real Super Robot show.
Oh.
Not like a parody like Megas or anything, like an actual, like, Super Robot show.
Oh, I love Megas. Anyway.
Yeah. But Mighty Orbots is super duper cool. If anyone's actually watching this, like, check out the intro on YouTube. It's fucking fantastic. But, it was heavily inspired by God Mars, and one of the reasons that the show ended up being canceled was, I believe, Takara or whoever rights to God Mars, like, sued them because it was really similar. Mighty Orbots, it's the same kind of thing. It's like 6 robots that, like, combine together.
Yeah.
They're like sentient robots, and they all have foibles, like, you know, I think it's like the left leg is this fat purple robot named Crunch, who likes to eat a lot, and the chest is this, you know, really muscly robot named Tor, who's really egotistical.
It shot its logo at the enemy?
Yep. But are you noticing something about the movements of God Mars?
It's not really moving that
Yeah. God Mars is kind of legendary for being a really legitimately cool like show, but it had like no budget at all. So if you pay attention, and Super Robot Wars Z really tries to emulate the original stylings of a lot of these shows.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be really noticeable when, like, Big O shows up. Like, he even makes the right sound effects.
Oh, Big O's in this one?
Yeah, Big O shows up later.
Oh man.
So, as part of their God Mars homage, like, God Mars barely moves. And a lot of his attacks are clearly done, you know, to be stock footage.
Yeah.
Like that little thing he shot out, you know, it goes inside the enemy.
Yeah.
And then they just have that stock, you know, shot of kind of just generic mechanical stuff getting exploded from the inside. Oh, I think this is the animation.
Oh.
It's not something. So. Damn it.
Slowly walk over. Oh, never mind. He's stepping on the air.
He's got a C in air. Leave him alone. Diegard wasn't meant to fly. These stupid alien robots can just fly all willy-nilly because bullshit. Just like Gundam 00 guys and...
the rocket punch.
Yeah. Never get tired of saying that. I need to finish this show sometime. Shin Majinger is super cool. Like, I've really been enjoying it. I just don't find the time to just sit down and watch anime anymore.
So, wait.
I only find the time to sit down and watch myself playing anime games. I'm aware of the irony, shut up.
Now that you said Big O, I just want Big O to show up.
Unfortunately, you're in for a bit of a wait.
No.
I don't think Big O shows up until like the 20s.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, that's the incentive to do more of this.
Friggin'. I love Big O.
But I mean, like Code Geass shows up pretty soon.
Like,
dude, look at that movement. Look at all of that movement.
Whoa!
See, they use a lot of tricks to make it...
Yeah.
They use a lot of animation tricks to make it look like it's doing a lot more than it actually is. And that's one of the really cool... I mean, you can't actually see a whole lot of God Mars, you know, in America, because it's a little too obscure even for the internet, but... It's just like a really interesting thing to see. You know, just as a history of animation kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like, it is a legitimately cool robot. It was just really hamstrung by the no budget.
Was it like too... Wait, why? I mean, it just didn't have budget from the start?
Yeah.
Because I know freaking...
Sorry.
Ava's budget got cut near the end because it was too violent.
Because this was like the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s, and like everybody was making giant robot shows, you know?
Yeah.
They were everywhere. I can show you. There's a video on YouTube called like 108 like Super Robot openings. And if I showed it to you, like after the first like 5, you would start noticing a lot of them get really similar looking.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just like, we're just gonna pick a theme and the robot, this is the robot for that theme. There's like a football robot, a night robot, there's Gold Lighton, which is just a big like gold block.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Gold Lighton's awesome.
Oh, this production value.
There's Gordian, which is like a robot piloting a robot piloting a robot, which can also describe Machine Robo.
How does it... Sorry, like, does it actually... like, it made a hole in the shape of its little G logo thing.
For Godmars, which starts with the G.
Yeah. Let's see, I think the only Super Robot shows I've ever seen...
Big O is a Super Robot.
Okay, yeah, like, before we started doing this, the only ones I was familiar with was Big O, Gigantor,
Gurren Lagann?
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't watch that.
Really?
I watched it in so much as I saw how ridiculous, like, it got.
You're like the one person on Earth who hasn't seen Big O.
Oh, wow, wait.
Oh, this is his Trider Bird Attack. I don't know if I've shown this one yet.
So it's like just the bird from the Megazord. Like, you know how the Megazord shot that bird?
Well, yeah. Except Trider predates
the
Megazord by quite a lot.
Well, yeah. But he's the bird. Ah, cool.
Because Sentai came after Super Robots.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I watched Gurren Lagann, just not the whole thing, but I just watched every time it got bigger until the very end when it got too big.
Well, Eva fans be damned. Evangelion is totally a Super Robot show.
Is it?
I mean, it straddles the line, but it is the whole first bit of it is explicitly like kind of parodying and deconstructing, you know, like Super Robot.
Well, yeah, true. Okay, yeah.
As far as that goes, at least, it's totally a Super Robot show. You've got, you know, aliens from you know, beyond the moon,
from something,
from space or whatever, you know, invading Earth, and the only person who can stop them is, you know, a teenage boy who has to pilot his giant robot made by mad scientist parents.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, you can also describe the original Mobile Suit Gundam that way, but like that's the thing. Like Evangelion was very much like a, I don't know, just kind of a thing on giant robots in general.
I think Big O was the first one I saw.
Not Voltron?
No.
I think saw Voltron?
No, I saw Voltron and Gigantor after the fact.
Really?
Yeah, like
you didn't grow up with Voltron?
No, like the very first like Super Robot show I ever. Wait. Did he just pull his G off and make a shield of it?
Well, it was implied, but he mostly just stood there.
Right.
Isn't that a great still image that's being dragged around?
Yeah.
But see, it's cool in spite of that. It doesn't need to move. Just the stances imply movement and power. It's great.
But, no, yeah, I think my very first one was Big O, which I loved.
How did you not watch Voltron as a child?
I don't know. I didn't see Voltron until later, until it started airing, like, really late.
You never saw Saber Rider?
No.
Dude, I watched Saber Rider all the time when I was a kid. It's awesome. It's better than the Japanese show they aped. Because Bismarck is a steaming pile of crap. But Saber Rider's awesome.
Yeah,
Peter Cullen voices their giant robot.
Huh.
Well, I mean, like, the robot doesn't actually talk, but they have a spaceship that like metamorphosizes into a giant robot when they activate the challenge phase, and then Peter Cullen like voices the whole computer like sequence. It's like powered stride and ready to ride. It's awesome. Fucking love Peter Cullen. He also does the intro for Voltron.
Huh.
He does the he does Voltron, defender of the universe. There's like a whole thing, like, out in space, the lions form.
Yeah.
I need to watch more Voltron.
But no, I didn't watch. I didn't watch Voltron and Gigantor until.
Wait.
Oh. Oh, jeez.
That's Majinger's other signature attack. That used to be the finishing move, but apparently the creative team behind Shin Majinger really wanted that Kyoshik beam, the eye laser you saw before, to be his new finisher. I'm not complaining, it's cool, but it's weird from a gameplay perspective, because in every other game, like, Breastfire is the big move for him.
Yeah. No, okay, nothing's going on.
Yeah.
No, but like...
I'm sorry. Yeah, I keep interrupting.
No, I saw Big O, then I saw Voltron and Gigantor. No. I saw them later. I think I saw Big O, then I saw Ava, then I, like, kind of went back.
I think they started showing Gigantor on, like, Adult Swim.
And watched Voltron and Gigantor. Like, it was on TV at some point.
Yeah, I think they showed it on Adult Swim.
And then I loved the freaking Gigantor, like, English intro.
Oh.
Gigantor. Gigantor, the Space Stage robot.
Oh,
Bigger
man.
than big, taller than tall. Yeah.
I sincerely hope we make it to the second game, because the slightly more modern version of Tetsujin is in that one, and it's awesome.
Oh.
Like they did a Tetsujin remake in, like, I think, like, the 80s or something. And it's, like, super awesome. It's got, like, this really, it's like so wonderfully, like, 70s robot cheesy. It's got an awesome, like, guitar riff filled, like, opening song. It's just great. It's really, I love it. I hope to show that to you. But yeah, Gigantor was great. Tetsujin.
This freaking battle is taking so long.
Because the freaking D-Beasts are bullshit. The D-Beasts all have high stats, and they all have goddamn Prevail. Which means that the more you hurt them, the tougher they get.
Oh, okay.
And these are like the low-level D-Beasts. The next tier up are the goddamn Rhino Demons. And the Rhino Demons have barriers, so you have to hit them, you know, above a certain damage threshold, or they don't take any damage at all.
Oh, wow.
Which, of course, scales up the lower their hit points get. So.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the freaking... the ones beyond that, and like you'll see.
Okay.
God damn, I hate those damn things. The Moby Dick is bullshit. Yeah, there's one called the Moby Dick.
Is it a whale though?
It's white.
Is it aquatic?
No, well, it's codenamed MD because it's big and scary and white.
Oh, okay.
And you know you're chasing it for personal reasons. It's a reoccurring beast. They keep showing up.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Like that little one that launches out of the box.
I know. I love that one.
Why is that one even there? Like,
because you need a third set of lasers.
It doesn't. I mean, I understand the other one that sits on top and forms the broader wings, but
well, the Cosmo Crusher, as I understand it, it's actually a space exploration vehicle. It's not a military thing. Like these guys, before they got pulled into, you know, fighting aliens, they were just going to go up into space and, you know, do some scientific shit.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, presumably the extra craft is just for doing that stuff.
Yeah, recon.
Yeah.
He's gonna walk on the sky again.
No, this guy's got his feet planted on the ground. Which means that Dygard's gonna actually do some damage.
Like, Gurren Lagann, is that you?
No. Dygard came first. Fuck you. Damn it!
Oh, man! So now his barrier is, like, super high?
No, the Rhino Demons have...
Oh, no, you're saying the next one has a barrier.
I forgot what these are called. I think they're just D-Beasts. But they have, like, tiers. It's like these guys and the Rhino Demons, and above that's the Bull Demons, and then, I forgot what the super big scary ones are called.
Huh. So, okay, just thought of this.
Uh-huh.
So wait, what were we distinguishing? The two categories were super robot and
super robots and real robots.
A real robot. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
I mean, you get the hybrids like Ava, and nowadays, I mean, it's kind of unless the director is explicitly trying to make one show or the other,
right?
Like they tend to bleed together, a lot. Like they're. I would say that nowadays you really don't even need.
What the hell happened to that? Did you just zap it into another dimension?
That's their death animation.
Okay.
They're dimensional beasts, so
right.
they died, dimensionally.
No, I was just gonna ask you. So, okay, Pacific Rim. Super robot or
totally super robot?
Totally super.
Not like no real at all. Like just.
I don't know because it didn't. Wait, was that it?
That was the.
No. Okay.
Yeah. It's.
Oh, okay. No, like because
I don't know why we're getting a little bit of delay between each video this time.
Whatever. But no, okay, because it's in so much as I've been able to tell, the only difference is like the aesthetic. Well, between super and real.
I mean, these are like broad generalizations, but generally the way people define super robots is that a super robot style show has you fighting, like monsters or aliens, but not like generally like monsters or aliens who send out like the one monster a week to fight you.
Yeah.
The Voltron style, the Angel style.
Right.
Aliens, and it's usually like a single like organization supporting the robot as opposed to like an entire military. So like Nerve versus, the Earth Federation or whatever you get from like Gundam or Macross or whatever.
Okay.
And the one that of course is becoming, kind of hard to keep using is that it used to be that they would use like super robots tended to use like really fantastical, we don't need to explain it, it's just like, robot bullshit technology.
Yeah.
So you've got Get a Robo, which you've got 3 planes that just somehow smash together and form a robot. Form 3 different robots depending on what order they smash into each other.
Yeah. And
they run on Getter Rays, because Getter Rays... What's a Getter Ray? Fuck you. That's what. Yeah. Majin runs on photon power. That's why it's powerful and doesn't need to recharge.
Yeah.
Whereas the Evangelions need to be plugged in. That's...
Yeah.
That used to be the distinction. Then you get stuff like Gear Fighter Dendo, which literally runs on batteries. They are dendonium like batteries or something. But yes, it literally has. It's like a toy. Like the back opens up and you pull out the batteries and put in new ones. It's great. And they have to make like a plane that can shoot new batteries into it mid-battle. It's awesome.
Okay, so... but okay. Aesthetically, we have... I mean, up until now, I guess we've been saying the super robots are like the old school, like, sort of blockier ones, and the real robots are the, like, ones that look like they could get out of the way of something if it was...
Yeah, super robots tend to be a bit more fantastical on the design, and real robots are generally designed with the intent of, like, being...
Practicality.
Yeah, but generally, I mean, you get shit like the Gundam Wing guys.
Yeah.
Okay, let's build a 50-foot giant robot and just give it a really big scythe.
Yeah.
That's how we're gonna win the war on terror.
Right. So I mean, when I think Pacific Rim, I tend to put it more in the second camp of the, like, this is more... It doesn't have the, like, old Geo and Transformers look, and they're fairly, I guess newer. But then it has those elements of the old...
That's the thing, it's not really so much about the design of the robot as the style as the style the story is told in. Okay. Pacific Rim is about, Earth's nations building a bunch of colorful, kind of nationally stereotypical robots, to fight interdimensional monsters, which they do by largely punching them to death.
Yeah.
It's like... like, you can make the broad sweeping statement that Gundam shows are all real robot shows because they define the genre, but then you get stuff like G Gundam. G Gundam is not a real robot show.
Right, okay.
It's about robots, it's about Gundams kung fuing each other. Yeah. And there's a horse that knows kung fu and pilots a robot. I love G Gundam.
So, I mean,
even like Gundam Wing, it's a real robot story, definitely, but the robots are totally like Super Robot style. Like there's a lot of gray areas.
I mean, yeah, for me, it's like if the robot's doing like a rocket punch, or if it's freaking firing a like chest beam, or you know, boob missiles.
Ah, but what would you say if I told you that Nadesco, which is very much a real robot show, has robots that do all those things?
Well,
granted, I mean, in Nadesco, they have the rocket fists are attached to the robot on wires for easy retraction.
But I mean, yeah, like when I think Super Robot, it's like if you're doing crazy like cartoonish attacks like that, you know.
That's generally how you tell,
but see then like in
whip sword.
Yeah. But like in Ava, it seems more practical, like they build giant assault rifles for them and like
remember the positron cannon? The positron rifle?
Yeah, but that didn't come across as ridiculous. They went to like great pains to charge it up and they're like, we have to siphon all this power.
What about the Lance of Longinus?
I mean...
What about the giant fucking katana that Shinji gets in the video game?
Wait, which one?
Girlfriend of Steel, I think?
I don't know if I played it.
I don't know. It shows up in Super Robot Wars because they need, like, you know, secret shit to give the Evas. And all I know is it originates from one of... It might have been the Nintendo 64 game.
Yeah.
But there is some video game where Ava 1 gets a giant katana, and typically Shinji gets it in Super Robot Wars. That's not great.
Oh, okay.
I remember in Alpha 3 he gets like the full armor Ava 1, which is I think that's the one from the 64 game, and that has like a crazy like chainsaw sword and like these lightning cannons on its shoulders and an N2 mine launcher.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, the shit that didn't make it into the Ava anime is so much better than the actual stuff. Fantastic. I am sincerely hoping that someday there's a Super Robot Wars game that adds Jet Alone as a playable character. Because that would, I don't know who would pilot it, but it would be cool to at least just have it.
Well, I mean, it was supposed to be unmanned, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. That's true. It could just be like an AI-controlled robot.
Oh, but then if it took too much damage, its like reactors would go critical and it would like destroy everybody and you get a game over.
Actually, fun fact, whenever it appears in Super Robot Wars, that's exactly what happens to Ava Unit 1.
Oh.
If Ava Unit 1 ever dies, then it gets resurrected in Berserk mode, and it just starts wrecking everybody.
Like, it actually attacks your friends?
Yeah, it's AI controlled, and it'll just attack whoever's closest.
Oh man, ooh, what is this?
Oh, this is Dagard's signature attack, which it finally gets. The Not Punisher.
Whoa.
It's kind of like a giant, like, electromagnetic pile bunker. Because the heterodynes, and I don't know if you've noticed, but that heterodyne looks like a baseball.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is something gonna hatch from that egg?
No, it's a baseball. We might have missed it in the talking, but its animation has it like revving up like a ball and running over people. I might have just not captured it, but yeah, the heterodynes, again, much like the angels, have like a core, and if you destroy the core, then the heterodyne can't regenerate anymore. So, the scientists at Dagard come up with a Not Punisher, which is designed to just kind of punch through the heterodyne's body and just destroy that core. You know?
Oh, okay.
And eventually it'll get the Great Not Punisher, which is even cooler.
What the hell is that clown?
Oh, that's the boss of the stage. It's the like stronger X9 or something. It's hard to remember all the names for the Mazinger enemies because they tend to be weird, like English words. God Mars. God Mars is so good. I'm glad they finally got it right in this game.
Huh.
Because like, when he starts off as Gaia when you hit 130 will, which you accrue by killing enemies. Then you have the option to change into God Mars. When you change into God Mars, he fully heals up and recharges energy and shit. So it's great because you can just go wild killing enemies, just wasting his energy, killing shit until it's time to fight bosses, and then you just shift into God Mars and he gets fully healed and everything.
Huh.
Plus God Mars is, I don't know what it is about God Mars, just something about it is just very cool to me. I just love the design. I think I just missed Mighty Orbots.
Oh. I mean, I was gonna say it's like Voltron, and Voltron was pretty cool.
I do love Voltron. I've been meaning to watch Voltron recently because since I can't play any more, since I don't want to play any more of this, before we do commentary on these videos, I've been playing Super Robot Wars W to in the interim, and that has Voltron in it.
Is it the line one or the crappy vehicle one?
Voltron is explicitly the line one.
Oh.
Or Golian, as the Nihongo call it.
Huh.
The vehicle one is actually like Die Rugger X something. Like it's a completely unrelated show.
But it got called Voltron, didn't it?
Well, because they kind of did the Power Rangers thing, where they just needed more. They wanted to make more Voltron because Voltron was a hit in America, but Golian wasn't a very popular show in Japan, so it only got like the 50 episodes or whatever, and that was it.
Oh, okay.
And what's funny is that, according to internet legend, when whatever company localized Voltron out here, they weren't even actually trying to get the rights to Voltron. They were trying to get the rights to a completely different show called Daltanius. But apparently, what they told the Japanese end was, "Yeah, we want the one with the lion." And Daltanius is another robot that has like a lion motif.
Oh,
so they got Golian instead, and they went, whatever. And it was a huge hit, and I for one am glad, because I mean Daltanius has been in other Super Robot Wars games, and it's cool enough, but I can't see myself liking that more than Voltron if I'd seen it as a kid. I don't think I would have liked it as much. And I saw a weird amount of giant robot anime when I was a kid. My local library had like so much giant robot anime just available for renting. It was weird.
Huh.
It's especially weird because in Z, or like around like this era of Super Robot Wars, they start digging for like really weird, kind of obscure giant robot shit, and I keep running into shit that I watched.
Huh.
Like there's a show called Baldios, and I distinctly remember watching the terrible, like English compilation movie they just shit out for money back in like the 80s, 90s, and it's in this game and it's fantastic. I love Baldios now. So many good memories. And Guy King and Voltus 5 and a lot of weird ones. I had a weird moment where I connected with this Filipino coworker a couple jobs ago because he grew up watching Voltus, and I spent like an hour and a half watching our English compilation movie when I was a kid. Yeah, so giant robots bring people of different nationalities together, whether they be Mexican or dog eater.
Oh.
I could have been talking about hot dogs.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go the racial route.
Oh, I know.
God.
Hey, it's Airman. You'll never beat him.
Yeah, that explains why I can't beat Airman.
Wait, it actually is Airman. What the hell? Nice.
I'd totally forgotten about that. But yeah. You know, it might have been directly inspired. I know there's a few robots in Shin Majin.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh yeah, he has that too.
Yeah, he's got the, well, his is the Rust Hurricane.
Right, which mixes the acid.
Yeah,
with
mixes
the...
acid and wind to decay the enemy armor.
Oh.
It gets like a whole like 5-minute speech, which is repeated like twice in the anime. Shin Majinger has some weird like stylistic things, like the episode where they introduce the photon beam. There's like a whole like 3 minutes where people are just saying its name is, and it cuts away to someone. Its name is Kyoshik Beam. It's awesome. Majinger's fantastic in any iteration. I forgot what was going on. I kind of got wrapped up in that.
They're killing Airman.
Oh yeah, we're fighting Airman. So Daigo's gonna use the Leaf Shield. Leaf Shield? Yeah, Leaf Shield is what beats Airman.
Yeah, that's right. Presumably it freaking sticks in his fan venting.
Airwa Horimoto Se, or whatever the hell that song's called. Totally butchered it, don't care. Not Punisher. Not my fault.
Pierce him. Oh, in the fan. Wrecked.
Yes. Yeah, it's great when a couple upgrades from now, they like integrate the Not Punisher like into its arm. And they give the other arm like a spinning turbine, so it just like sticks one arm into the other.
Oh, cool.
And it just like fires off the turbine. It's awesome. Dagger has like some really cool design work. Oh, see, like this guy?
Whoa! Something was said.
Yeah. That's like a bomb. It's like a bomber plane, but that's based off another giant robot show called Goizer X, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, like if you ever saw a picture of Goizer, you'd see it's like totally like spot on, very obvious parody for whatever reason. Just a weird shout out.
That freaking... that reminds me for some reason of their, what was that? Like their main ship in Gatchaman.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of looks like the something owl. What was it?
I forget, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, it has the specific, like, owl species motif.
Yeah.
Did you ever see well, I hesitate to call it a remake, but that other anime that's also called Gatchaman? That was made to...
Oh, yeah. Not the... Yeah.
The one that has nothing to do with Gatchaman?
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen it, but... I mean, it has, like... It doesn't look like it has anything to do with Gatchaman, so... I can't really justify watching it.
For a while, somebody was kicking around like a remake of Gatchaman. Like I don't know, there was an idea that there was going to be another, kind of a reboot.
I'm kind of surprised there hasn't been...
But it didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, I'm surprised there hasn't been a for reals Gatchaman remake. They've done a bunch of other shit, like Casshern and... Oh, watch this. This is his real finisher, the one I was talking about, the photon beam. Kyoshik beam.
It turns like a little knob up. Oh, that helmet.
Well, in the anime, he's like kind of trying to figure it out, and if he only turns it like a little bit, he just shoots like little pew-pew lasers.
Yeah.
But if he turns it like all the way to 11, where it's in the red, then he shoots the big-ass, like, parts the sky beam.
Wow.
And it's really awesome because the Goizer robot, like its whole gimmick is that it's just a giant bomb. Like it just falls on its target.
Oh, it is.
And it's so heavy that with gravity behind it, nothing can push it back. But Majinger has the power to be a god or a demon.
Oh,
so
man.
It's able to push it back into the sky with the Kyoshik beam and then destroy it. Because Majinger's awesome.
So, like...
See, because Majin is like demon god. Yes.
So that bomb got pushed back into the sky. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Sure, why not? No, that's when Majin Kaiser shows up. Anyway, this fucking stage.
Don't even what.
So the good news is you're gonna recognize the anime series that premieres in this one.
Really?
Well, if you can't tell from the enemies, then maybe not. But I think you will.
Let's see. I've been waiting for something that I actually recognize since this started.
I think after this stage, then the routes converge too. So you'll see like the Gundams again afterwards. But
come on.
This fucking stage.
Anime I actually know. Come on.
Like, it starts off pretty tame here, but it gets super freaking hard. And on the other route, it's like 1,000 times harder. Like, I actually died and had to restart the stage and the recording like 3 times.
Huh.
I mean, you'll see.
Dang it. Show me the enemies.
This is bullshit. Actually, I think the Gundams and everybody come back in this stage. So, yeah, you'll see more shit, but they're gonna show up right about now.
Oh. Wait. Those are new.
Those are new.
Come on. I'm so
hyped. I don't know why I'm taking so long.
I'm so hyped to see something that I recognize. Oh, wait! Oh, what?
Yeah, it's Eureka 7.
Like,
of course, this isn't the. I was gonna say this isn't the good Eureka 7, but I don't like Eureka 7 to begin with. But
freaking Holland.
This isn't the TV show. This is the movie Pocket Full of Rainbows.
Oh,
which I've never seen, but it sounds god awful. But
oh man,
at least the robots look kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of those freaking... Oh, those were the antibodies. Or
yeah, they're called the Image in the movie. I think they're like the Corallians or
yeah,
something?
The Corallians, yeah.
Yeah, some shit like that. In the TV series.
You know, I never got how freaking... I mean, I know in Eureka it's because they're riding on the whatever particles.
LFO... Well, the LFO is the... No, KLF is the robot. LFO, No,
LFO is the robot.
LFO is the robot, and they're lifting because there's those particles that are everywhere.
Right, but it's like, okay, if you, this is it the only robot show where the robots have to ride on a thing that makes them float, and they can't just float on their own? I mean, he's got jetpacks on his back.
They don't have to, because because in the anime they have Ray and Charles, the only good characters, and they have their like boards like built into the robot.
Right.
So they just like fly. They just actually fly, but it's like an old like outdated style or some shit like that. Which is dumb, because Ray and Charles are the best characters. And it pisses me off that, like, they show up in Super Robot Wars Z, the previous game, but they don't, like, join you permanently. They're around for, like, a stage. And if you jump through a bunch of hoops, they show up, like, in the final stage as reinforcements, but I wanted more Ray and Charles. I hate Renton and all of his stupid friends.
Yay!
I hate this damn show.
Yeah, I didn't like it. And, you know...
It's even worse because, at least in Super Robot Wars Z, which just used Eureka 7, like, the units are actually really good, like, on the broken side. But in here, they're all crap. Especially the Gecko Go, or whatever the hell we call it. The ship. Like, like, I haven't been able to show you because I haven't gotten a real battleship yet, but real battleships have like some actual like functionality that they bring to the battle. And the Gecko Go doesn't because it's a piece of crap. All it's really good for is support attacking. I was trying to think of something. It can't take hits. It has like 3 or 4 pilots, but they all have crappy spirit commands. It doesn't have any good skills. In freaking Super War Z, it was awesome because all the Eureka 7 characters had the lift rider skill, whatever the hell they call their skateboarding thing. And that all gave them after image, so they could just like make a flat dice roll and dodge anything, including the battleship.
Wow!
It was just like Kagebushin no Jitsu and like double image out of the way. It was awesome and hilarious to watch a battleship do.
So yay! Like I recognize the thing.
Yep.
Half-Life 3 confirmed. Like,
well, I mean, does retroactive recognition count? Because like the Gundams are going to show up in a couple turns.
oh,
And, like you remember those? And
yeah.
I think I will have most of the Gundam Wing characters by this point. Wu-Fei is always the late joiner, but I think I get all the others, and I will never use them.
So speaking of Half-Life,
were we talking about Half-Life?
Well, I was saying you just confirmed.
Well, if we're talking about Half-Life, then clearly Half-Life 3 is confirmed.
Yeah. No. Yes. Definitely. I was actually talking to my brother.
Hooray!
Today.
Robots I like, finally. Oh shit! It's the Moby Dick.
Oh, where?
It's that big red one down there.
Wait. Whoa!
Yes.
That must be one of those rhino things.
Actually, that's the Bull Demon.
Dude, it's got a freaking spectral like head.
Yeah, I know, but no, it's the Rhino Demons are. I mean, the Rhino Demons are now in the battle, but that specifically is a variant of the Bull Demon.
Holy crap!
It's like how in Monster Hunter they have like the different subspecies.
Yeah.
Like this is a kind of like subspecies of the regular Rhino Demons, or Bull Demons, which will be showing up as normal enemies from now on. But the Moby Dick is...
Oh, dude!
Yeah. It just fucks you up.
Did he just die?
No, Crow survives, because plot, but... Yeah, the Moby Dick took him out of the battle, which is why this stage is bullshit. Because Crow, on the other route, Crow is my only good character.
Oh, okay.
And I had to handle, like, this really tough stage with the fucking Gecko Go.
Wait, so the Gecko can pick up other...
Yeah, battleships, you can put your guys into them, and it'll slowly heal and resupply them.
Okay.
But they lose a little will every turn, which I should explain, because I've said that a few times. Will is a resource that you build up as you fight. Will is the official English term. I kind of like morale, which was what people used to call it before we got official English terms.
Yeah.
Because it kind of represents like the emotional dynamic of the battlefield. Okay. Basically, as you fight enemies, as you kill enemies and do other miscellaneous things, your will goes up, and you do more damage and you take less damage. You know, because you're feeling more confident. When you build up enough will, then you can start using your more powerful attacks. That's what, like, Megazord doesn't just pull out the power store right off the bat.
Right.
You know, you gotta wait until you've hit the right part in the battle, and then you bring out the dynamic finisher.
Yeah.
So that's what will represents. So when you put someone in a battleship, because they're out of the battle and they're kind of coming down from, I guess, the battle high, your will goes down, I think, by like 5 every turn.
Okay.
And it's not so bad if you use in moderation, but will also has, if your will goes below the baseline of 100, you get penalties to your attack and your defense.
Oh, neat.
So you don't want your will to get too low. Your will also goes down when you resupply with a resupply unit like Dagger. So will management is kind of an important thing, especially when you've got a whole stage full of assholes like this who are just really tough.
There's a lot of these.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of these.
Have I mentioned that if the Eureka 7 assholes die, it's game over?
Really?
Because that's what happened on the other route. Fucking Holland can't dodge for shit, and the Gecko Go is like made of paper.
Huh.
Like, it can't even hit the damn Rhino Demon. It had a 17% chance to hit him. It's a Bull Demon.
Oh, more reinforcements.
Hooray, a couple of competent people.
I was gonna say, how are you gonna kill all of those?
I actually barely make the skill point in this run.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a pretty close thing. But I got Getter Robo! Hooray! Getter Robo is that red one on the right.
Huh.
It is the other, like, kind of codifier for Super Robot shows. I guess it's kind of like how, like, Batman and Superman kind of define, like, superheroes.
Right.
Getter and Mazinger kind of define giant robots. Super robots specifically, but yeah. Getter Robo is the first combining robot.
Oh, okay.
Made by Ken Ishikawa, not Go Nagi. People get that wrong.
Nerd!
Like Bennett Sage.
Hey, it's that freaking Haro thing.
Yeah. And Kurt Sweber.
That Haro reminds me of
Haro?
No.
Because it should remind you of Haro.
Wait, the little that thing in oh god, what was the Vandred had that little
oh yeah
helper bot thing,
well,
right?
Like all that shit is all kind of derived from Haro. Because Haro was back. Tomino came up with Haro back in the original Gundam, and it was a mainstay in a lot of Gundam shows after that.
What the hell?
Yeah,
did
it's through its tail. Oh, did I not mention they regenerate?
So its tail became a worm,
yeah.
and then it grew another tail?
And it's attacking.
Oh, but then it died.
It's like a starfish.
Okay.
Well, I guess not, because if it was like a starfish, then it would have grown into a whole nother monster. Anyway, now I have something approaching a real battleship, which is kind of nice.
Oh, okay.
That blue thing up there is the Ptolmerios or something. Even the characters in the show just call it like the Ptolemy for short. And it's kind of unique in that it's a battleship that can't fight at all.
Oh.
But it does have a repair unit installed. So it can heal your other guys just like Aphrodite, the robot with the boot missiles.
Yeah, and the head.
Yeah. It's also got a fairly strong barrier just like Gundam Virtue. So it won't crumple initially, but it loses like 10 or 20 energy like every time it has to use the barrier. And enemies love to gang up on it because it has no weapons it can't counterattack. So
okay.
if you leave it alone, it'll just like crumple under the pressure.
Oh yeah, he has to throw away his gauntlet every time.
It's like, I think it's a shield or something.
Yeah.
But, yes. Go, Setsuna, one of the only competent people in this stage. Oh, I'm coughing so much.
Oh, well.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
So yeah, Getter Robo. This is Getter Robo Armageddon, which is a slightly more modern incarnation of Getter Robo, and it's great because it's super duper like violent and edgy, and all the pilots are like batshit crazy.
Huh. So it's Ava.
No. Fuck you.
Oh,
It's actually based.
it's Gurren Lagann again.
No. It predicts Gurren Lagann by like 30 years. 40 years, really. Fuck you. But I was particularly happy that they used this incarnation because Armageddon is actually one of the few Getter Robo shows that's available in America. Oh, I already had enough will to transform. This is Dan Cougar Nova. I don't like Dan Cougar Nova. Dan Cougar Nova
That looks pretty cool.
Dan Cougar Nova is a remake of a classic Super Robot show called Dan Cougar, which is really awesome. Dan Cougar Nova. Dan Cougar Nova was done by Masari Obari, I believe his name is, who's a guy he's pretty well known for doing super robots and characters with very generous endowments. If you've ever seen box art for Gravion, you've seen his work. I adore Gravion. It's got a great like first season, but around when they started releasing the second season, they completely changed their like marketing strategy. And like the second season DVDs, I'll show them to you. They're up on my shelf. They're all just plastered with like pictures of the girls in like swimsuits and stuff. And like the back of the box for like the first DVD in the second season, it says something like "giant robots and giant boobs." It wasn't fun to take that up to the counter and
isn't there a yaoi anime called Gravion?
Gravitation.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I know that, but yes. I think because I've had to avoid getting those two mixed up myself.
Oh, cool. Holland has his stupid mask on, I see.
Yeah. So, I guess spoilers for Pocket Full of Rainbows? I mean, you're never going to watch it, right?
No.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
I hated it.
I don't recommend anybody watch this shit. So Pocket Full of Rainbows was apparently made, like, as kind of, it was kind of deliberately designed to be...
Wait, I'm sorry. He did all that just to shoot a laser?
Yeah, Holland sucks. I told you, all the Eureka 7 characters fucking suck in this game.
He did all these maneuvers and crap, and then he just stopped and was like, yeah, laser beam.
They kind of had to just cram in the Eureka 7 characters into this game.
Yeah.
And because of memory limitations, they had to cut down a lot of the number of attacks they had. So they're just kind of reusing as much footage as they can from the previous game, where they all had like a nice, like, 5-6 attacks apiece. But anyway, look at this one. Pocket Full of Rainbows was designed to be just familiar enough that fanboys could appreciate it was in fact Eureka 7, so that they could completely gut the show and piss people off.
I mean, I didn't like the show to begin with.
I didn't like it either, but from what I know of the movie, it just sounds like a really mean-spirited project.
Okay.
Like, Holland and all of his buddies, instead of being like, you know, veteran, like, fucking hippie activists, whatever the hell they were.
Yeah.
Skateboarding journalists. They're all like children who were experimented on and also raped by a pedophile.
Oh man.
Like, that's canon, that's not subtext.
Wow.
And they're all children, like 16, 17-year-olds,
okay,
who were prematurely aged to look like adults.
Oh.
Because of some kind of dimensional thing. So, and because they're aging faster, they're also going to die, you know, relatively quickly. So,
right.
I guess the plot of the movie is they're trying to, like, their world has like a legend which is vaguely based on the events of the Eureka 7 anime. And they're trying to run around and make all the shit that happened in Eureka 7 happen in their world, so that they can all go to Neverland, where they won't die. That is the actual plot of the movie. It also all makes them all tremendous assholes, apparently. Doesn't really reflect in the game aside from one late game thing, but they all really suck, and the Nirvash has like the most annoying attack animations ever.
Whoa.
Because now in this version the Nirvash talks, kind of.
Okay.
But it can only say Mokyun. So every single time you have an attack, like Renton will say his line, and then the Nirvash will go Mokyun. What? Every single attack. It only has like 2. So I won't be using them very much in this playthrough if I can help it. Look, that plane's flying on the ground.
Yeah, it kind of is.
That's the fucking barrier I was talking about. See? He didn't do any damage. Fuck these guys. And it gets even worse because there's a stage later on. I don't remember if I ended up keeping that one, but there's a stage later on where you've got to fight a shitload of these guys, and you're just fighting them on mountain terrain, which means that everybody gets a defense bonus.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, you're getting a defense bonus too, but they're getting it on top of having barriers.
Right.
So it's lowering, you know, your damage ever so slightly, which can really affect, you know, whether or not you do 0 or actual damage to them. And you're on like a time limit if you want to get the skill point. It hurts me just remembering it.
These guys are like not even halfway killed yet.
I know.
Friggin'.
Like, I don't even remember how I pulled this off. This is just a legitimately hard stage. And like I said, the other version of it is harder. Because you've been using the real robots all this time.
Yeah.
You haven't had time to... I've had time to, like, level these guys up and upgrade them a bit. Give them some nice items. But when they show up on the other route, they're just, you know, vanilla.
Yeah.
Unupgraded at all. And your real robots don't do a whole lot of damage at this point, so it's just a giant mess on the whole. You also have a map with, like, no terrain. So like, Holland has even more trouble dodging. And it's just, terrible memories.
What? I was about to say so... Oh, no, yeah, so...
Yes, I would like $5.
Yeah. No, speaking of, you know, anime that our favorite friend voice actor is in.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Like, I started, no, you mentioning freaking Renton, and therefore...
Oh, right.
And therefore Johnny.
I forgot that Johnny Young Bosch voiced Ichigo Kurosaki.
Yeah. Well, wait. Yes. No, but so
you were talking about Vash's Stampede?
Yeah. Yes.
That's not fair. Vash was actually a good voice.
Yeah. No, but I mean it kind of works with, robots. Have you seen I don't know. Wait, do you have Netflix?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, they've been freaking advertising that Knights of Sidonia thing.
Oh yeah, I've actually been meaning to watch that.
It's actually pretty good. Johnny's in it. He's the main character.
Well, I guess I'm watching it subbed.
No, I think on Netflix they only have.
No, it's because I was gonna put it on when I was to have in the background when I was playing Monster Hunter the other night. And I don't want to have the Japanese audio when I'm trying to play Monster Hunter, so
right.
I just enabled the English language track, and it did have it.
Oh, okay.
I only watched like 5 seconds before I could tell, like, what, this is the kind of show I'm gonna have to actually pay attention to if I want to appreciate it. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna watch. I think I watched like Archer instead.
Oh, okay. No, it's actually pretty good.
It looks great. I've heard it compared to Attack on Titan.
I was gonna say it is Space Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I like Titan.
So,
did you see that somewhere in Japan, like they made like life-sized like Titan statues?
What?
Yeah, it's apparently like scale because they do that. They have like the Zaku and the Gundam in like Ikebukuro or something.
Oh, neat.
And they've made a new one, and it's like the Armin Titan fighting the female Titan.
Ah, cool.
Looks pretty awesome. It's got to be horrifying to actually like be there though, and just have that looming over you. Like the Gundam and the Zaku aren't fighting anybody; they're just like standing there chilling. So you're comforted by like, if aliens attack, like somebody from the JDSF or whatever can totally like jump into that and defend us.
Yeah.
But when you just like got the Titans fighting, you're like, any minute now, those are gonna come to life and just wreck everything. Or like the nearby nuclear power plant is gonna like bring them to life somehow.
Yeah. Friggin' Ron would have a breakdown. He actually can't watch Titan. I tried to show it to him, and he left and walked into a different room.
Is it too violent?
I guess. I mean,
I don't blame him for that. Titan's a pretty intense show, like visually. I guess emotionally too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's just too much, like too many named characters dying.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it when people you empathize with die.
Damn it! I hate it when I have to get invested in a show.
Yeah. But no, so Knights of Sidonia. This incredibly, unheard of plot before is humanity is on the verge of extinction.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And all of humanity lives in this one,
Sidonia?
city ship. Yeah. And the reason they're on the verge of extinction is because these giant aliens are, for some unknown reason, trying to freaking get in, and it's unclear whether they're eating them, but they will grab people and place them inside of themselves.
Wow, this sounds just like Super Dimensional Fortress Macross.
And so, yeah, and the only way you can beat these giant aliens is to hit them in a specific spot.
Is there like a follow-up show where like they have like a rock band piloting giant robots and they fly around and shoot music at people? Because that would be the shit.
Well,
I love Macross 7.
That could also be freaking Sonic Underground.
No, because Sonic Underground was stupid and Macross is awesome.
but they made a vow that their mother would be found out.
That song is so cool. Like, that show does not deserve to have an intro that awesome. Because, like, the actual, like, music in the show
it's so
is
bad.
just like Kitty Rock. But then the opening song is just, they made a vow their mother will be found. It's so, like, epic sounding.
I missed the beginning of that show when Jaleel White was all three hedgehogs.
I've never really seen much beyond the first episode, but I thought he was always like all three hedgehogs.
No, like halfway through, they got somebody else to voice Sonya.
Because it was weird to have him doing a falsetto?
Yeah. At the beginning, he was Sonic and he was Manic, which was just him talking in a dude bro voice. And then Sonya was just him talking in a high voice.
I didn't quite know. Because I didn't grow up with Sonic Underground. I didn't even know it existed until I was like in college. I somehow missed it. When I saw it on Netflix, I was like, oh, well, I heard this was a thing, and I saw that opening song on YouTube, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I was just watching it, and like, Sonya sounds really familiar. No, that would be stupid. And then, like, I looked it up on TV Tropes. Because I look everything up on TV Tropes after I watch it.
Yeah.
And yeah, he does in fact voice everybody. Did we like Jaleel White that much back then? I mean, this was after Urkel.
Yeah.
This was when everybody hated him.
Well,
I guess we liked Sonic, so...
Yeah. I wish that he did the voice acting for young Sonic and Generations.
Yeah, right? Like, a lot of people
like,
were really
how could you
disappointed.
not do that?
Well, because it wasn't young animated Sonic, it was young Genesis Sonic.
I know, but still.
And young Genesis Sonic never talks. Like, that's the rationale, and I agree with it.
Yeah, I don't know, it feels like such a... What the hell?
That is Getter 3. So I never explained the gimmick, but like I said, Getter Robo has 3 forms.
I think that guy's on drugs.
Yeah,
Whoa, what?
Yeah. You think that's cool? He does judo.
Where's all that?
It's got stretchy arms. This is a special judo
That's
throw.
a lot of mass to be... Alright.
Get a raise. The Getter Robo has 3 forms.
Right.
Getter 1, which is the red flying one. I don't know if I've actually shown that off in battle. Getter 2, which is the one with the drill, and Getter 3, this one. They're each spec'd for a different kind of terrain. Getter 1 does air combat, Getter 2 does land combat, Getter 3 does water combat.
Oh, okay.
And Getter 3 is the interesting one, because that's piloted by Musashi, who is more or less the Kenny of the Getter Robo franchise.
Huh.
Because, see, at the end, Musashi wasn't originally part of Getter Robo in the manga. He was made for the television series, and he became unexpectedly popular.
Oh.
So Ken Ishikawa kept him around. But when he transitioned into the second season, Getter Robo G, they had to get rid of Musashi so they could make way for the actual Getter 3 pilot, Benkei. So Musashi dies a horrible but awesomely heroic death, where he suicides to, kind of save the day.
Okay.
And because of that, as a weird sort of morbid running gag, Musashi dies in basically every single Getter Robo media ever made since.
Oh.
And true to form, he also dies. He is either dead or he dies in every single Super Robot Wars game. Except for this one. It's so wonderful because I love Musashi.
Huh.
And this is the one game where he just sticks around for the entire game and gets to pilot Shin Getter, which is like the ultimate Getter robot that he never ever gets to pilot in these games. It's fantastic. There's that guy who looks like a girl.
Oh,
Here.
yeah.
I was fanboying and I kind of forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah, Sonic Underground?
Oh yeah, because they made a vow something.
That their mother,
Whatever.
That their mother would really move and have an attitude.
I think chili dogs were involved some.
Oh man, I hated that. Who was that French fox?
Antoine.
That sucked.
Antoine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know if I ever got around to telling you this, but Sonic had like DC New 52, kind of reboots.
Huh.
Kind of recently in the comics. There's like a whole like legal situation with one of the creators, so they just kind of had to restart from scratch with a lot of characters just kind of exiled from continuity.
Yeah.
And as like kind of a weird like byproduct of that, they just kind of totally rewrote some of the characters, and now Antoine's like a badass like swordsman, Errol Flynn kind of guy.
Huh.
It's great. I don't read the comics very regularly, but I've read them on and off like ever since I was a kid, and it's always fun to just kind of jump in occasionally. They were doing Sonic Unleashed last I checked, and they were somehow mixing in like the characters from Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
The Sonic arcade game?
Wait.
That was the one where you had 3 playable characters. You had Sonic the Hedgehog, you might know about him.
Yeah.
And Mighty the Armadillo.
Oh!
Knuckles, from Knuckles Chaotix.
Yeah.
And the best character, Ray the Flying Squirrel.
What?
Yeah, he was basically Proto-Tails.
Huh.
And he was never seen again. In fact, in one of the stages of Sonic Generations, I think it might be Crisis City.
Yeah.
There's a poster that says "missing" on it, and it has pictures of Ray and Mighty.
Oh.
Because they hadn't been seen in the game since by that point.
That's cool.
Oh, we're in the Macross part of the game now.
I only vaguely remember this show.
Well, this is Macross Frontier. It's new and exciting and fan servicey.
Yay.
Main character looks like a chick, kinda. But the pilot of that red robot is like the most brilliant fan service character ever designed.
Huh.
Not kidding. Like whoever came up with Clan was like some kind of evil money-making genius.
All right.
See, the deal with Clan is she's a Zentradi, Meltradi.
Yeah.
The giant aliens.
Giant people, yeah.
Yeah. So
Titans.
And by this point, like the Zentradi have kind of integrated, with the humans, and so they have their micronizing technology, whatever the hell they call it. They have the shrinking device.
Yeah.
They can shrink down if need be. But Clan has a weird little birth defect, so when she's her full giant size, she's proportionately speaking, of course, just like a tall, busty, Amazon type woman.
Okay.
But when she shrinks down to human size, she becomes a flat-chested lolly.
Ah. So you get 2 for 1.
Exactly. So I haven't actually checked, but I'm willing to bet there's lots of merchandise featuring both clans, so that everybody gets to be happy.
Yeah.
She's a pretty cool character, though. There's an awesome bit, I guess I'm told it's from the anime. I've only ever seen it through Super Robot Wars, but there's a bit in the second game where they can't launch her robot for whatever reason.
Uh-huh.
So they just put her into her giant mode, and they just strap some Valkyrie parts to her.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and she just flies out with a Valkyrie jetpack and the machine gun, and she just fights aliens like that. And you get to control her like that for a while.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool. Her unit is designated as Armored Clan.
Huh.
And she's very susceptible to physics. Only around for that one stage, though, but I'm told, it's such a popular thing that it keeps showing up in, other, related video games and stuff. Like the Macross Frontier, I guess, PS3 game. She's, playable. That one has some weird shit that's playable, though.
Huh.
You can play as, a giant, bug colony. With a holographic girl stuck in the front.
Yay?
Macross is a weird show. Franchise. Yeah, franchise.
I think the only one I watched was the one with, that, raven-haired singer lady.
Oh, Macross Plus.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about Plus. Plus is the only one I really like, because it's nice and concise and awesome. I really like Macross 7 conceptually, because that's the one where they fight with the power of rock. The Valkyries have, guns that shoot, these little, speaker things.
Yeah.
These little pods. so that because sound can't travel through space.
Right.
So they stick them to the enemy robots, aliens and whatnot, and that way they can affect them with their music. And the main character Basara, he's got the anima spiritua, which basically lets him fight people with rock.
Yay.
So yeah, it's freaking cool. There's an awesome segment in I think it's like an OVA where he's like fighting. He's trying to single-handedly fight off one of the Zentradi with just by like standing there on foot and like rocking at him. but then it turns out that the Zentradi is in fact a Meltradi, and it turns out that she's also like an aspiring like rock star.
I think that plane just got sexually assaulted.
Yes, he did. So then he ends up having a guitar fight with the giant alien. It's awesome.
Oh, that's like a 00 guy.
No, that's Frontier.
Oh, is it?
That's Michael.
It looks kind of. I thought I was.
Nope, he's just pretty.
All right.
Not as pretty as Alto, who's the main character. Like that's a. I don't think he actually looks all that feminine, but it's like an in-universe thing that like Alto looks like a chick, and it's convenient. See, that's how she looks.
Oh, okay.
You know, so you can kind of see what I'm getting at. But yeah, like Alto's thing is that he's from like a kabuki family, and I guess it's traditional in kabuki for like the men to play female parts. So that's like his tragic backstory. He's like genetically designed to be a fantastic kabuki actor, but he doesn't want to be a kabuki actor. He wants to do stuff. I didn't watch enough of. I only watched like 2 episodes before I decided it wasn't really for me.
Yeah.
But somehow he gets wrapped into like piloting a robot, and like he's got 2 girls after him who are both like singers, and I don't know. It's a weird show.
Yes.
Macross 7's pretty cool. I want to talk about 7, but 7's not in this game. It doesn't show up until the next game. And even then, it's only like 2 of the characters for some reason. Which is sad.
Ooh.
And it's like double sad because like the 2 characters they have are really good, but they don't include like the other great characters.
So
I think our sound is a little bit distinct.
No, these like I'm just trying to figure out why these aliens never have anything to say.
Well, because they're the Viraja, I think they're called. They're like an alien like hive mind, like the Zerg.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have like individuality. That's why all their dialogue is ... That's a lot of ellipses, Jesus.
Yeah.
I never noticed until you made me look at that.
Nah.
But whatever. Yeah.
So, alright. Anyway, like, in the last stage, I was freaking about to go on a tangent about Half-Life.
Did I stop you?
Yeah, I remember.
Well.
But, like...
So anyway.
No. So, okay. I was discussing this with my brother.
Cake's a lie?
Yeah, I know. And we were trying to figure out, okay, what's your opinion? We just kind of took a poll.
Right.
Alright. In order of what's most likely to come out first. Like, most likely, you know, what's gonna appear first, and what's gonna take the longest last. Form a ranking between the following.
Okay.
Half-Life 3. Team Fortress 3. Portal 3.
Right.
A Duke Nukem game that's actually good. Or the From the Ground remake of Final Fantasy VII HD remake.
I think it's going to be. I think Portal 3 is a fairly realistic thing that could happen in a reasonable amount of time. Because I mean, the Portal games. I mean, I don't know much about making games, but it doesn't seem like a Portal game is all that resource intensive. Because I mean, they're reusing. I mean, they reuse assets from their existing stuff. It seems. I guess Portal 2. I guess Portal 2 was original assets.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, they don't have to design fantastic landscapes or anything. They just have to have, you know, like, gray rooms.
Well, I mean, Portal 2 was quite a big, like, difference from the first one.
But I'm saying they don't have to, that's the thing.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess.
Like, now that they made Portal 2, which is a significant step up from Portal,
yeah.
I mean, they could just reuse the Portal 2 assets if they really wanted to. I don't think people would really complain.
Well, no, yeah.
It's better looking Portal. People play Portal for, like, the puzzles, and I'm sure it's significantly cheaper to pay a bunch of guys to come up with puzzles and then, you know, pay your programmers to just put blocks, you know, in specific locations in a few rooms.
No means no. But yeah,
compared to, say, you know, making all those, you know, special, like, set pieces and whatnot that a new Half-Life game would require.
Right. Okay.
And so I'd say that's the most reasonable.
All right, that's on top.
Then I think the Rapture. Followed by, you know, the Emperor of Mankind coming forth and kind of putting society back together.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, the heresy happens. and then, like, around the time the 13th Black Crusade comes out.
Yes.
Then TF2 gets re-released in HD.
Oh, yeah.
Because that way nobody loses their existing hats, but you get a special, like, Commissar's, you know, cap.
Yeah.
For you know, for rebuying the remaster.
Okay.
But they have to do it by that point, because by that point, like, they can barely get it to run on, like, Windows box.
Yeah. And
then after that, then I guess, like, Star Wars happens.
Okay.
And then we get people thinking about maybe making a new Duke Nukem game. They think that maybe, like, 80,000 years in the future might be long enough for people to forget about how much of a joke Duke Nukem Forever was. Yeah. And then, only then, will Half-Life 3 never come out.
Right. All right.
That is my official stance on the matter. If I can ever remember what exactly I just said.
So, basically, after all of that, the Final Fantasy VII HD remake still will not have come.
That's never fucking out.
Okay.
Okay, I've actually.
So Squeenix is not gonna go bankrupt. They're gonna be releasing Final Fantasy 30,000. Well, and still not have to crack open the 7 remake.
I've read somewhere that that somebody from Squeenix actually said that the amount of money and time it would take them to, you know, to invest in a Final Fantasy VII that's as good as to invest in a remake that's as good as people are expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Would cost, like, way too much money. It would, like, bankrupt the company.
Oh.
Because people just have because fans just have their standards set so high.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's quite true. I honestly believe that people who like 7 are stupid enough that they'll just take anything you give them if it has high-res textures.
No, but I mean, if that came out, Frank would buy, like, 10 of it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Everybody who played, all the people who are like, 7 is, like, Cloud is a god, would buy 10 copies.
Of course they would.
And then the freaking the quarterly report would come out, and Squeenix would be like, how did we even sell people 10 copies of this?
But as I understand it, game development is, especially nowadays, game development is really expensive.
Yeah.
That's why PS3 games and PS4 games are, like, so expensive.
Right.
For current gen consoles, it costs a ridiculous amount of money to develop those games. And I guess they just figure that, you know, people are just anticipating something so good that they're just not going to make enough money back from this. Because I guess typically when you make these kinds of games, if you make a game that costs a lot of money, you're really not expecting to make money from the game. You're expecting to make money off the franchise that game will spawn.
Okay, yeah.
Like, that's why they can that's why they could afford to make Final Fantasy 13 look good for, you know, a late PS2 title.
Yeah.
Because it also had a really long development cycle. It had like a 7-8 year development cycle, something ridiculous like that. And they knew that, you know, they could just start printing, you know, lightning body pillows.
Right.
But I mean, I guess your average 7 collector probably already has all the Tifa body pillows they're gonna need for now, and they won't buy quite so many, you know, if they invest a few $1 billion into making a new Final Fantasy 7.
I mean, I'm thinking that true fanboy core, you know, those guys, that seven singularity, like, fanboy core.
I honestly don't think there's really as much of them still around as you'd think there would be.
I mean,
I think it's just a very vocal minority.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, okay, granted, this was like a few years. This is like when 13 came out.
Right.
But I was out in the desert visiting my grandma.
Oh yeah.
And
on a horse with no name, right?
Yeah. There was a guy in the game store. Sorry. There's a guy in the game store sitting on with his Vita playing Dissidia or something. And we started talking about, me and my brother were in there, and I think we started talking about 7 or something. And this guy suddenly pipes in and blah blah blah. Long story short, this is a quote from the man. A true Final Fantasy fan likes all the Final Fantasies, even the bad ones.
Well, the problem is that kind of fan just doesn't exist. Because, see, the thing, as I see it, the thing is, you basically have like three kinds of fans.
Yeah.
You have the people who grew up with Final Fantasy in its early stages, like 1 through, like, let's say 6.
Yeah.
Because those are all pretty, like, stylistically similar.
Mm-hmm.
And then with 7, it's still very thematically similar. I mean,
what the hell just happened?
Oh, I got a game over there. And I had to... Thankfully, I'd done an in-battle save.
How did you... Wait, what made you lose?
I didn't catch it, but I think somebody died who wasn't supposed to.
Oh, okay.
Usually in these pre-deploy stages, you can't let the pre-deploys die.
Oh, right.
But, 7 started changing things up stylistically, like, quite a lot. You got that, like, really anime kind of style to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I died again. The freaking random number god. And then 8, so you have those fans. Then you have the 7 and 8 fans, because 8 is, like, still kind of along the same, like, stylistic style.
Yeah.
I should stop saying style so much. It's just my style.
Yeah.
As 7. And then 9 kind of goes back to, like, the old school fans. Mm-hmm. That's an old school style Final Fantasy.
Right.
And then, like, after that, like, every Final Fantasy is just so different from each other. 10 and 12 and 13 are vastly different games.
Yeah.
You know, aesthetic-wise. The only, you know, real similarity is that they're a lot more anime than the series used to be. And that's just kind of, like, that's like just JRPGs at the time.
In general, yeah.
Yeah, JRPGs are just a lot more anime than they used to be. Which is saying something, considering shit like Chrono Trigger.
Right.
But, yeah, so I just feel that the fan base is so, you know, fractured that you're just never going to have enough people anymore liking everything. I don't like everything.
Well, no, I mean...
Fuck that shit.
But the 1 through 6 guys, like you and me, don't... That's no longer what Squeenix is trying to freaking cater to.
Which is a shame.
Like, we are the chaff that has been tossed away.
Yeah.
But things like the 7 remake, I mean, yeah, there's the 1 through 6 camp, and then I think that, like, 7 through 13, while there are differences between, you know, 7, 8, 9, and then, you know, 10, 11, 12, 13, like... they kind of can go into one, like, that's the Squeenix, the demographic, I think, that it's you can lump them together in one big camp for the people that are buying these. What did you do?
I think I keep getting game overs.
What? I think you can lump them into one demographic for the people that would buy because by the 7 remake, because the people that started with 7 are the same people that played, all the way up to 13, right?
Oh, Alto keeps dying, that's the problem. I don't have any healer characters in the stage.
Oh, okay.
So, if he doesn't make that 20% dodge, he's fucked.
Ah, I see.
And this guy too, I think. Very good. I do beat the stage eventually.
Yeah.
Well, okay, here's going to be my rebuttal to this question. Who's hotter? Tifa, or Lightning, or Yuna, or what's her face from 8? If you pose that to a group of Final Fantasy fans, they're all going to have, none of them are going to agree.
Everyone's going to say Tifa. No, Tifa's got to win.
No, because Yuna is insanely popular in Japan.
Okay, true, yeah.
Lightning is, she used to be. Lightning also apparently has, oodles of fanboys on both continents. I don't think anybody cares about Rinoa.
Right.
I don't think anybody.
They don't have to agree. They're all
Well, I'm just giving an example of they're very stylistically similar. They are kind of stylistically similar in very shallow ways, but
right.
The fans will fight to the death to defend. And then there's the people who hated Blitzball. There's the people who love the materia system and hated the sphere system. There's the people who loved that Crystarium bullshit from 13, and there's the whole Gambit thing with 12.
All the guys that have played 13 have played 7.
But they're not fans of 7 because 7's old now. 7 is basically 6 right now when you think about it.
Well,
it's very old and archaic comparatively. And there are lots of people who haven't even played 7 nowadays because it's old and Cloud's got fucking Popeye arms. So you kind of have to stop thinking about them as all being that half of the series and really think about them being as, their own standout pieces of failure that they are. IMHO, I'm saying to protect my opinion,
yeah.
which is also fact.
Yeah, I suppose, but that guy, okay.
The only redeeming factor of the 13 saga is Caius, and only because he's voiced by fucking damn it, forgot his name. Guy who does.
Oh, that was it.
The guy who does Yasuo's voice. In League of Legends.
Well, let me close with this since we're done.
Yes.
That guy that I like even the bad ones. He owns Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1, the Steam version of Final Fantasy VII, the PS4 port of the Steam version of Final Fantasy VII, and he freaking has that G-Bikes mobile. Did you know they made a Final Fantasy VII mobile game?
I did not.
Freaking Squeenix announced that, and the hype was so real, and then it was mobile game, blah, but everybody bought it.
But does he have Chocobo Racing?
I don't know.
No, I guarantee you that he's the exception, because I'm willing to bet that, especially people who jumped on with the more modern games, like 10 onward, I know 10 has its own massive, asshole level demographic, fan base, that 10 is the greatest game ever and nothing compares to it. I don't know if 12 has that. I know 13 has that.
Yeah.
So I'll leave you with this before we finish off, just so you have food for that. Apparently, word of God, you remember Caius from 13 too?
Yeah.
Word of God says that Caius is the strongest Final Fantasy villain in the history of the franchise.
Okay.
That apparently came directly from the guy himself.
Huh. And on that bombshell, we shall see you next time.
Fight amongst yourselves in the comments.
Indeed.
Sephiroth or Kefka.
Later on,
It's Golbez. Fuck you.
Bye.